I'm joined in studio here in palatial Owings Mills, Maryland, by none other than Twitchy.
Wait a second. Where are you?
Palatial Owings Mills, Maryland. What? Why the...
I thought you made reference to Squigio Studios. I'm sorry.
No, I said Twitchy Studios.
All right.
I hope. Keri will back me up. She's on the phone.
Yeah.
I said palatial... I said the Twitchy Studios, right?
You didn't, did you? Don't lie to me.
I'm pretty sure
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure I did. No, come on.
Look at me. Look at me.
Keri, you've known me longer than she's known me. Remember that.
Lie
But
to
I'm
my
also
face.
drunk, remember that.
Oh, shit.
What'd she say?
I thought she's drunk, so she's not reliable, really, when it comes down to it. Which means she would not be a reliable source because she may not have remembered it exactly how I said. I could have sworn I said Twitchy Studios in Palatial Owings Mills. I would swear I said
You
that.
totally went into your old intro.
What do you mean?
The Palatial Squigio Studios and...
Oh, you mean because I've said it so much that it just kind of rolls off the tongue?
Right.
Gotcha.
Like that... Never mind.
What the hell? What are you getting at?
I was going to say like the time you came in your own mouth. It rolled off the tongue.
Why? Why? Damn you, teptep.
Sorry.
Oh my god. So,
I assure you people I cannot make this stuff up.
So besides being in England and having growths on your back and your spine and not being able to masturbate, what have you been up to, Keri?
I have started my own business.
Oh.
That
Was it sex toys?
No. It's doing multimedia stuff, like with film studios and online stuff.
Are you doing like voiceover stuff?
Script editing, script writing.
Oh. Twitch.
And some sound editing and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good skill to have, definitely, the sound editing. And Twitch has done a little bit of amateur script editing. You remember that, Twitch?
I refer to that as amateur script writing because I was given a rough outline.
Wait, are you talking about Are you talking about Captain Rocket, or are you talking about In Search Of?
Yes.
So what you're saying is you've done everything. You have to do everything. So it's your own business, freelance. People pay you to edit stuff for them and write stuff for them. And
I'm such a professional.
And a friend of mine has his own video company, and we're hoping to do a short film for some of the festivals coming up next year.
Nice.
Is it animated films like Pixar?
No, this is like a proper, like, exit through the gift shop type film.
Which I've heard about, but I've not actually
I've seen it on Netflix.
Yeah. That it's listed, you've not actually watched it.
Right.
Gotcha.
Apparently, Pixar is not a legitimate...
That is true. Yeah, you just picked up on that. You're right. You're like, is that like an animated thing like Pixar? And she's like, no, it's a legitimate. What do you got against?
Yeah, I meant like a live action.
What do you got against Pixar, Keri?
I know, right?
Nothing.
Fuck.
Disney was a big part of my life when I worked for them, but this is like live action, like
role-playing?
Mockumentary, documentary kind of thing.
Are there going to be car chases and crashes and stuff?
What
the hell was that?
Is there going to be car chases and car crashes and stuff?
We don't really know yet.
How is it that after 5 years of Party FM, Echo still cannot get his shit right? Somebody please explain that to me.
That might
Squig can't get his stuff right? Well, it's just because he's Squig.
Hey! She said Echo. You watch it, you. I know you heard what you wanted to hear, like me saying Squigio Studios instead of Twitchy, which is what I clearly said. I ran out of breath.
I see that. My God.
Okay, to be fair, I haven't really had the chance to like pummel you with insults for a few years, so these are all pent up.
You've never pummeled me with insults.
I have.
I used to kick you in the shins all the time.
We've never met, so you and me are the few
in the chat.
Few that've never met.
There's somebody from Party FM you haven't met?
I know.
Oh my God.
She met me.
It's mainly because I was scared to meet him.
Oh, we don't.
I don't blame you. You have no idea the things he did to me the first time I met him.
Nothing you didn't want.
I was wearing flannel pajamas.
Yeah, with
that should have said
trains.
no. Keri, correct me if I'm wrong. If a woman is wearing her flannel pajamas, that's like a no-sex zone.
Oh, definitely.
But it's so
My boyfriend
soft.
knows that if I'm wearing flannels or tracksuit bottoms, no, nothing's happening.
But it's so soft against the skin and easy to remove. Yes? No?
No.
All right. I have no... when do you think it's sex time, Tep-Tep?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Tep,
I'm not
tell
paying
us when
attention.
you
What?
think it's sex time.
When do you think it's business time and when is it sex time?
Is there a difference?
I don't know.
Only, it's the same if you're paying for your sex.
But couldn't you write that off as a business expense if you're like a lawyer or something?
Here's a question: Do hookers get to walk right off their slutty clothes?
It's a good question.
Okay, back
It
to
would
what
be a business expense.
What were you saying?
I was going to say. Back to what's been going on with Keri, since I totally derailed that train.
Has anybody thrown blood on her yet?
Oh, very good.
Not much other than the company thing, and I've had a boyfriend for 3 years.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
But not the guy that, like, you were kind of sort of going there to be with. Like, I understand you weren't
I
going
wasn't
just
going
to
there
be
to
with
be
that
with
guy. What was that?
Oh, idiot? No.
I don't think his name was Idiot when you were interested in actually going there and dating him, by the way. I want to
Knuckles?
point that out. No. That's
No, I wasn't.
Stumpy.
We had broken up before I moved. I was moving back to be closer to my dad's family.
Yeah, and I know, I meant to say, I know that you weren't moving there to specifically be with him, but it was like this extra thing that was looming that you really were looking forward to.
Oh, no, he's, like, hence the term idiot.
Right.
No.
He screwed it all up. He made bad choices and decisions.
Uh-huh.
And now he's paying the price, or whatever. So cool.
Yep.
Freelance. I
So
like it. I want to go freelance.
Squiggo, what's new with you in the last
Or retire. What do you mean?
5 years? Well, you haven't talked to Keri in
Yeah,
a while.
what's up with you?
I know what's up with him, but
Right. I got fired from my job I had been at for nearly 10 years in November. And got a new job within...
Fired because you screwed up, or fired because they just didn't want you anymore?
Well, what happened was they were laying off a bunch of people and they were giving severance packages to everybody.
Squid just got laid.
No, that would have been okay. Now, they were giving severance packages to everybody, and the longer you'd been working there, the more severance money that you would get as long as you made it till the last day, which was July 1st. Because they had to pay me so much, I think, found a reason to fire me early so they then wouldn't have to give me a severance package.
Okay.
So, it was a little bit of both, I guess, when it comes down to it.
See, that's illegal to do here.
Yeah, there's kind of no... I actually went to a lawyer and stuff. I don't know if I ever talked about this on the air. I called a few different lawyers to see who I could sue.
Yeah, it's illegal here, too.
Yeah, then he took the advice of lawyer Nettie.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I worked
See,
with a woman
here,
once.
like, labor laws are all geared towards the employees' rights more than the boss's rights.
Yeah. Not here, they're not, but in places that are good, they are.
I worked with a woman once, the management. This guy, basically what he did was he bought buildings and renovated them, and he had bought the hotel that I worked at to renovate it, and he knew nothing about running a hotel or the restaurant attached to it. So they decided that they wanted a pretty young girl behind the front desk, and they went to he had one of his underlings go to her and say, "We're going to have to let you go," and she just went, "Nope, I don't think so."
Nice.
No, you're fired. She's like, "No, I'm not." She's like,
Wow.
what are you talking about? I was like, if you fire me, that's age discrimination. and she got to keep her job for that. They didn't even try to fire her after that.
Well, I could have sued if I was a girl, or if I was gay, or if I was black. But because I wasn't any of those things, I had absolutely no grounds to. I didn't want my job back. What I really wanted was to sue them, basically, for the severance money that I deserved.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I wasn't those things, I couldn't sue, and instead I just found another job somewhere else, making the same amount of money, and a place where I actually enjoy working, as opposed to this other place where it was just miserable all the time.
Yeah, that happened to me once. I got fired from a job once, and they're like, you should go back there and demand to get your job back. I'm like, why would I want to work for management that just fired me?
Yeah. That's what the lawyers asked too when I was kind of doing the consultation. It was, well, do you want to see you have a better chance getting your job back? And I'm like, yeah. And then they'll just look for something new to fire me for. Why would I do that? So, yeah, I found a better place, and now people that are still stuck at the old place are constantly like, do they have any job openings? Is there anything I could get to? I'm like, yeah, janitor position. I'm a dick. This
You said it.
This woman that I used to work with at the old company actually sent me a LinkedIn message on Wednesday. Her daughter's looking for a job at my company, and she's having she can't figure out how to submit her resume on the website, and so she actually emailed me asking me if I could submit her resume for her. I promptly made fun of the message and then deleted it, because it's like, I don't know this woman's daughter, and you know what? If this girl's not smart enough to know how to submit a resume, how is she going to be a good employee at this company? So I said no. Why are you wowing? Because that's a dickish thing to say, or
No, I'm just. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta cancel Echo out again.
The hell was that?
That's Echo.
Echo, why don't you use the Skype call testing service, which is actually called Echo, to test out your microphone before you call?
Because he's Echo and he's too good to test.
Brother. So teptep, you haven't been here for a few weeks. Anything new with you? Any new work complaint stories?
There's been a few douchebags. One guy, I think last weekend, pissed me off because he kept placing his face against the fucking door window, glaring in before we opened, and he was there for fucking 45 minutes, and I finally got tired of walking past this dude, and I went to the door and opened up and said, we don't open for another 15 minutes. Oh, yeah. I said, well, what are you looking for? He goes, oh, I'm just looking for
Crabs.
some flounder pieces. And I said,
the door.
now, let me ask you, if somebody said flounder pieces, would you assume that that's possibly fillets?
It's fish
I
of some
would
kind.
think they were just looking for they wanted to make a fish soup or something. So
Okay,
they didn't need the nicest cut.
Right, and they didn't want to have to cut it up, apparently. It's already just falling apart.
Yeah, well, pretty much, the guy said pieces. I assumed he meant fillets, which is just the skin and the meat. And so I'm like, okay, well, we open them in 15 minutes. So I went back and was trying to get things done. And even after we open, we're still setting up, getting orders ready and things like that. And the jackass pretty much walks in and decides he wants 6 fucking whole flounders cleaned and all that other shit. And I'm like, you don't clean until 10 o'clock. And he throws a fucking bitch fit in the fucking store. And I'm like, fuck it, man. I'll fucking clean it. Just don't fucking come. You fucking asshat. And
this is how Tep treats his customers. Yet Tep doesn't get fired. That's the funny thing. He treats his customers like crap. He's like, whatever.
I did call him a fucking asshat, and then I walked in the back, got the fish and started cleaning it. My coworker working with me basically said, oh, he got the message.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be back certainly ever again. Like, he better fucking not.
Tep's, by the way, not the owner of the store either. He just acts like he is.
Here's the thing about not being the owner of the store. All right, I've been working there for 10 years, minus a year I took off and then came back. But, I started in 2001. Now, every person they've hired other than me and a few other people have been extremely untrustworthy. Stealing from our petty cash, calling into work practically every other day, and basically saying, I can't make it to work because, my car doesn't have gas in it. Well, fucking walk to a gas station, put gas in it. Or,
take the bus.
I've got to go visit somewhere. I got to do this. Or destroying property or stealing property.
Are they going to visit somewhere?
Yeah, I got to drive my mom to church. Yeah, I got that one once.
I want to know how they visiting places with no gas in their car.
Well, no, that's the thing. They'd say that they, there's some car problem or they need gas in their car and it's going to be a while. And by the time they manage to get all that done, more than half the day would be over. That kind of bullshit. Anyway, so we'd hired people that, were like fucking bipolar as fuck, would like literally destroy property, would steal property, would sit on the phone for hours and ignore customers, and wouldn't take responsibility for losses, as in like, for whatever reason, there's like $20 somehow missing. Whether you accidentally gave someone money, accidentally gave them two bills that were stuck together or something, wouldn't fess up to it, wouldn't make up for it, that kind of thing, which I do. It's a rare occasion. It does happen. But, I've deemed myself trustworthy. I'm also the type of person, if somebody requested time off or, to trade days, I would do it without hesitation. Wouldn't complain, wouldn't bitch, that kind of thing. And other people, they wouldn't. So I've pretty much...
He's still telling the same story.
Well, you asked.
Your yawn was so fucking loud, too.
What?
I love you, Tep Tep.
Aww.
Anyways, so make sure I'm fucking trustworthy, all right? There's only 4 people there.
It's a trap. We fell for it. Sorry.
And what basically happens is I've only gotten in trouble for blessing somebody out, maybe once or twice. But it's more or less like a talk to, Mm-hmm. But that's about it. I mean, unless I actually steal or actually beat the shit out of a customer, that's not out of self-defense or something like that.
Beat them till they turn into custard.
They won't necessarily fire me.
Yeah, you really are. You're like the only person that has been there the whole time. You're actually the most trustworthy, even though you have horrible customer service skills.
No, it's not horrible customer service skills. I just don't tolerate stupidity and
that's all customers are. Stupidity.
You're right. But I don't bless every fucking customer out. Just the ones that really, really, really fucking piss me off.
Which is a lot of them.
It's very rare moments when a customer gets under my skin so badly that I start cussing them out.
Yeah.
Most of the time I just kind of grit my teeth and, walk away.
What?
We hear a lot of stories of you cussing
I don't believe that at all.
Well, as many customers as you get.
Will, you want to live?
Do I want to live?
Come with me if you want to live.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Your dark side, we have cookies.
15 days later.
What?
Wow.
I guess
is
he's...
this like a phone call where...
Is it me or does it sound like
he's... I have 15 days to live?
He's responding to something from another time zone.
I think it sounds like when he talks that he's queuing up a CB radio. Breaker 19, this is Echo. You coming at me, brother? Jesus Christ.
Speaking of which, he'll be on the show later on.
What's that? Jesus Christ is going to be on the show?
That's Superstar.
Nice.
He was here for the first night of Party FM, I think, or did he leave and Satan was here? I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I remember that one time I joined and then left. after a moment, they started making fun of retarded babies.
Jesus Christ.
Who would do something like
Mike
that?
Frankson, are you kidding me?
That was way before my time.
I can kind of see that now that you say that. He's like Mike Frankson. Just imagine him as just wearing diapers. And
There were no boundaries with that guy. He would go after everybody.
Who, Mike?
Oh yeah.
See, I think that's another situation where I felt a certain way about people, but maybe I didn't make it as known. But, once again, you had somebody like Mike Frankson who just, he would never censor himself, and he would just... You're the new Mike Frankson.
Who?
Am I?
Yeah, because I used to have, the whole, Mike Frankson man crush thing going on, and then I found somebody that had tits. I mean boobies.
Yay! Thank you.
So Phydeau has possibly been going longer than Keri. I can't remember exactly. How long ago was it that you left, and why?
I left. I was really I had the Monday afternoon spot. It was the only time I had available, so I usually only had 2 or 3 listeners at a time.
Yeah.
And I think it was after I left at the admins, it just wasn't exciting enough to be here.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, no, seriously. I mean, I'd be sitting there talking to myself for 3 hours on a Monday afternoon. So,
we have to keep you entertained.
Dude, I completely get where he's coming from, because I always got stuck with 3 in the morning or 10 in the morning. So I was like, oh, look, I'm doing a show for Squigio. Except when it was a 3 in the morning show, he had to go to bed.
Right.
So he'd be like, oh, it's time for your show. I'm going to bed. I'll be listening from bed.
Right.
And
2 seconds later.
Now that I live in a house that he frequents, I do understand that when he tells you he's listening from bed, he is so full of shit.
What? Hey! Don't give that away! God damn it. Okay, show me pictures of knives, just so you won't say those things.
I always thought that you would lay down on the floor.
I'd done that before. That was my old disbanded ethics trick. I would lay under the desk.
Like a hobo.
And that's not true, Romer. There's no show without listeners. Yes, there is. There's on-demand and replays.
Ugh.
No.
Does anybody actually use on-demand?
I don't know. I never set up a way to actually track that. I guess I could. Do I care that much?
No,
though?
of course you don't.
well, see, I didn't even know we had an on-demand. That's how long I've been gone.
That's how long he's been gone, yeah.
Yeah, that was...
I didn't know it either.
Wow. Just wow.
Well, a lot of it too. Both with in the days with Keri and Phydeau, we used to some of us used to take shifts when it came to replays and stuff. So Wednesday nights I had my show and I was the last one on, so I would be responsible for putting on replays of shows or a shuffled playlist or something like that. Frankson had a different night. Some other people who we'll talk about later had some nights.
I had a night.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you put on? Just chill music?
Kinky audiobooks.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yep.
Did you put a Harry Potter one on once too,
Yep.
though?
Hey, Harry Potter's some kinky shit, yo.
Way back in the day, Angie used to put old radio dramas like The Shadow.
Shadow rocks.
We'd wake up and there'd be 0 people listening to stream. Like any other time, you'd wake up and there was at least 3 listening in those hours. When The Shadow came on, they were like, "What the fuck?" And
okay, I'm kind of curious. Why is Dawn, or Echo attacking me on via chat?
What's he saying?
Something like, "Well, I don't suck dick like Tep does."
Really, Echo.
What the fuck is that about?
I don't know. If he could get on here and tell you, but we'd have to wait 2 hours for him to do it. So
and then we'd have to wait for him to queue up the CB.
Right.
Breaker 19.
But getting back to my story here, but as people started leaving that were doing that, I certainly wasn't going to put filler on 7 nights a week. So I just started developing all kinds of automated shit. So at this point, like, it automatically records the stream when people go on, and it automatically replays the stream back at certain times, and the on-demand automatically records and moves shows around and crap like that. So now I don't even have to think about it until it fucks up and doesn't work right, and then I gotta fix it. Computers are stupid.
Mine's deceased.
Yeah, you don't have a computer at all. How does life work with that? You just on your phone all the time, I guess?
I volunteer at one of the local theaters. It's a charity organization, and they let me use their laptops every now and then. Otherwise, I go to the library.
Nice.
What theater is that?
It's called The Space.
The Space.
It's in East London.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I just thought maybe I would have. That's all.
No, it's
That's
really, really tiny. It's
5 seats.
mainly a community arts program.
5 seats and internet
Only
and a
people
laptop.
from my borough would know about it.
Borough.
Yeah, because London's made up. There's only the city of London, and then the rest of London is called Greater London, and there's 32 boroughs that make up all of Greater London.
I went
And
less
I live
than
in a
London.
borough called Tower Hamlets.
Where's less London? I want to go
Sounds a
there.
lot like New York City.
Yeah, New York's got
Yeah,
boroughs.
it kind of is.
But who came up with it first?
Probably London, considering New York is way younger than London is.
Sometimes being younger is better.
Yeah, probably.
At least the mayor of New York hangs around.
But there's not riots in New York either.
Not yet.
There have been riots in New York.
Not lately.
Well, yeah, but recently it started out because a young black man was killed by the police. He was shot and killed, and so, in the area that he lived, there was a peaceful protest, and the police kind of ignored them, and then they rioted. And then the rest of the people in London were like, oh, they're looting and rioting and getting away with free stuff.
That
Well,
looks
let's
fun.
do that, because there was only 6,000 police officers on for the whole of London.
Except then they found out the hard way that the London police have facial recognition software, and we're using Facebook to match up people's faces with names.
Well, not
Yep.
just that, but people that were that were looting and rioting were bragging on Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Are you dumb? Seriously? You know what? You deserve to be.
They're all
fucking-
kids. They're all kids.
Some of the sentences they've passed out, they're actually getting appealed now because, one girl was given 6 months in jail because she accepted a pair of shorts that had been looted the day before.
Wow.
She was in bed when the riots were happening. And because her friend gave her a pair of shorts, she was given 6 months in jail.
Did she know that they had been stolen?
No.
Or so she
But that's
says.
been appealed now, and she's not going to jail. But yeah, they were really cracking down on it because all of the high-level politicians were gone when it started, and they didn't come back until it was really bad.
Where were they?
Cameron, our prime minister, was in Tuscany. The mayor was in Vancouver. The foreign secretary was somewhere else. They were all on holiday, basically, and the only person left running the country was the deputy prime minister, who has absolutely no authority whatsoever.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what did they learn from this experience? Don't send everybody with power on vacation at once?
Yeah, pretty much.
At least they sent them to different places so they wouldn't all suffer horrible fates. If they did, then we know there was a
Yeah.
conspiracy.
But see, they had to, basically the police begged them to come back because it's illegal to use water cannons and or plastic bullets on the mainland UK. It's okay to use it in Northern Ireland and any of the Channel Islands.
Wait,
But
why?
on the
What's the
mainland, the only
difference?
person that can authorize that is the Prime Minister.
What was the question?
Why is it illegal in one part of the United Kingdom but legal in another part?
To be honest, it goes back to Maggie Thatcher, so it was her law that she put into place. Because she cracked down really heavily on Northern Ireland. So she felt it was fine to use it up there because they were a bunch of thugs, and the rest of the UK were innocent, apparently. I don't know.
Are they a bunch of thugs?
No, I lived there for two and a half years. I was a Catholic girl in a Protestant neighborhood. Nobody bugged me whatsoever.
Did you tell them you were Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a legitimate question. Did you say it? We're like, woo! Catholicism, wow!
So, like, there was a Catholic chapel in my neighborhood, like, not too far away, and I would go to services there, so people kind of could just put two and two together.
Okay, fair enough.
And my neighbor was ex-paramilitary, and he said, anyone bothers you, you let me know. So,
Nice.
Yeah. My best friends were Protestant.
But, I mean, really, in this day and age, is that really an issue that...
It is kind of during marching season, and that's pretty much the only time.
What's marching season?
The 12th of July is the Battle of the Boyne anniversary, where the Protestants defeated the Catholic king at the time, and the Orange Order marches with their little pipe drums bands, and they go through, like, near Catholic areas and kind of like, 700 years ago we beat you. And it's
You know what it reminds me of? What it reminds me of here in the U.S. is like every southern state, the South lost the Civil War, and every southern state reenacts Civil War battles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's pretty much that.
Because they're proud of their
nobody
heritage.
won the Civil War, if you think about it, because it was a treaty.
Well, yeah, well, but the point is the Union stayed together. That's,
Yeah.
Have you seen...
Yeah, I lived in Minnesota where they taught it that no one won.
Well, yeah, I mean... It would have if the South had seceded, then they would have claimed that they won. So if you look at it that way, but
yeah,
it's like because like when you think about it, it's like the U.S. fought the U.S. and now it's still the U.S. So
Yeah. Kid you not, a couple weeks ago, some American tourists had bumped into them on the tube. They asked me if we celebrate the 4th of July here in England.
I've heard that question. It gets asked a lot.
Wow, people are fucking retarded.
Actually, my
uncle... Well, the American Embassy does do a barbecue, but as far as, like, fireworks and stuff, no.
Yeah, but
why would they celebrate losing a continent?
That's the U.S.
They don't
Embassy.
celebrate when they don't celebrate when they lost India, either.
That's what I think Thanksgiving is one that they ask, too.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that Americans aren't really dumb. I will fully admit that.
Oh, I will flat out say that Americans are dumb.
Living here, I can see why a lot of people think Americans are dumb, because it seems like the stupidest 10% of the American population are the ones that travel.
Well, you know what? Actually, I have a theory on that. I bet you meet a lot more intelligent Americans. They're just claiming to be Canadian.
Yeah, maybe. But if you ask a Canadian if they're American, they get pissed off.
Oh no, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just like us.
I actually get asked that a lot if I'm Canadian, because I have like the half and half accent.
Yeah, I heard some kind of... Well, that's right. You have like Midwestern in there, which can almost be construed as Canadian, I guess.
Yeah, you do sound a little confused.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't have a problem with it.
She's got the Stacy thing going on, too, where Stacy used to always
We're
say...
getting a message from 1958.
Is that what that static is?
Doc Brown, is that you?
Klondike 436!
I got a bogey.
Yeah, she does have the thing like Stacy had where she'd say British words like rubbish, but in Stacy's case, she didn't have an accent at all, except for maybe a little bit of southern twang, so it just sounded fucking ridiculous.
That's rubbish.
Stacy lives in France now.
Yeah.
Last we heard.
With Guthrog.
She's all over Europe.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
She came to stay with me for a week in July. And
did you guys dike
the
out?
first I'd seen her in a long time. But no, she's living in France now.
Is she still with Guthrog, or is she just kind of hanging out?
She's still with him.
Yeah.
Last I knew.
Is she still?
But he's a lot better than what he used to be. So.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
He doesn't smoke as much anymore, and he actually is trying to find a job. So.
Does he bathe yet?
Huh?
Did he stop sticking French bread in his ass?
I never knew about that in the first place. I'll have to pick that up with him.
Oh, well, I know Stacy lost a bunch of weight a while back. Is she still kind of on that, or
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
She's got a lot more tats now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yay, Doctor Who is coming on.
There's horrible things I want to say right now.
We'll get to that. Don't
The
worry.
new one?
Like, this is actually painful for me right now.
Why?
Because I'm a horrible person, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
So let's finish with Phydeau. So we know why Phydeau left, because we just didn't hold his interest. So what have you been doing since then?
I'm still working at the Barn Dinner Theater. I was the head of the wait staff for a while. Now I'm the bartender, and I do all the tech stuff for the plays that we do. And
He
then
tries
for
to
fun,
juggle
I'm
beer.
still. What's that?
He tries to juggle beer.
That's
Yeah,
really ridiculous.
and then for fun, I'm still doing the photography. So
Nude pictures.
yeah, got pictures. I can put some links up if you want.
I don't know. I don't understand why Echo's saying that when he's doing the test call it's working, but then when he calls us it's not.
Because
that's a good hobby to have.
Echo's idea of working is different than everyone else's.
Gotcha.
He thinks it's okay to test on the mainstream. Just saying.
So you know what the thing though, I'm sure you run into this too. You don't really enjoy the nudeness because you're just all like professional about it and like, oh, I got to frame this shot correctly. Oh,
Well, just define enjoy nudeness.
There's a naked woman in front of you. You're taking pictures of her. That should be a very hot, arousing thing. But I'm gonna guess.
No, see, that's just. I have a lot of fun with it. And believe me, I love looking at naked women. But yeah, I'm too busy to be,
Exactly.
aroused by it. So.
Dude, I'm naked around you all the time and you're not aroused. Why would you think taking pictures is any different?
You might have a point there. You might have a point.
Besides the model I work with, the one that I've been working with the most, Cassandra, she really, I know her, and she's kind of like a little sister to me, so it'd be kind of weird.
That's
Yeah.
really creepy,
Yeah, that
dude.
is really creepy.
Not quite. I mean, it's like, it's not. I probably wouldn't take pictures of my actual little sister nude, but
Thank
in
God.
a lot of ways, it's.
Keep digging in, Phi. Keep digging in. Jesus.
I'm not digging in.
Wouldn't take pictures of my little sister, but someone else's little sister's fine.
Right. Not my real little sister, my kind of pseudo little sister.
Listen, I have friends who do take pictures of like their sisters and their mothers and stuff like that. I know women who take pictures of their sisters and mothers, and so
That's a whole other world, I think.
it is a different world. It is a little
Whole
strange.
World, fantastic. Sorry.
Believe me, I mean there are things like in conversations you have with a model that if you said it out of context to a random stranger in a bar, she'd slap you into next week.
Huh.
So
Like what?
well, like for instance,
Spread your ass cheeks.
yeah, I've got this giant mirror. I'd love to see you do some yoga poses on top of it.
Oh, man. That has the makings of a really good pickup line, though. It's got the right form and structure. But you're right, it would get you slapped.
Like I had a model respond back to me once. I was doing this contest called Anything But Clothes, and basically what it was, the models were supposed to wear anything that wasn't intended to be clothes, and it couldn't be made out of fabric. Nudity wasn't required, but it was allowed. And so I was talking to this model I was working with about it, and she said, "I'll wear spaghetti for you if you want."
Oh, gee.
So conceivably someone could wear a cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I've worn saran wrap before, so...
Well, actually, I did. I made a dress out of bubble wrap for her.
Nice. I'm thinking cardboard box. Let's add the homeless element to it.
Well, actually, at one point, she was wearing a cardboard box on her head. So.
What about duct tape?
Yeah, there was a duct tape for a belt.
God damn, you thought of everything. Or she did.
And rubber bands for bracelets.
Wow. That's very creative, I guess, isn't it? It's like I said, it's a whole different world.
You get creative because taking pictures of people with just their clothes on is really kind of boring.
And I guess with their clothes off gets boring.
There's only so much you can do with a nipple.
It really is a lot of fun. It's just people you would think, because it's so unusual. I mean, it's just because of societal norms. You'd think that it's really sad. I mean, people sometimes call nude models like just openly to their face because of the anonymity of the internet. Will say things like "you're a slut," "you're a whore," and I just want to slap the entire world into understanding that simply being nude is not a sexual act.
I've been called both of those things.
And I get. Believe me, I understand. I mean, I find women sexy. I mean, and my models are really hot. I get that, but that's not what I'm doing when I'm doing photography. So
it's not what I'm doing either.
Yeah.
God, I'm such a dick. I'm sorry.
I do remember Phi telling me about one of his photo shoots. He's a girl naked at the bottom of the pool, and he did it in his parents' pool, and he had to wait for them to leave. It's this whole big thing.
I just didn't want my dad peeking out the window. That's all.
Of course.
I told him that it was because I didn't want to wake him up at night, but because he goes to bed early, about 10 o'clock, which was right after this. In the summer, that's barely after the sun goes down. And I was like, I don't want to wake Dad up. He has to go to work the next morning, so I waited for them to go out of town. The truth is, I just didn't want to peeking out the window the whole time.
Right. He's checking to make sure you don't wake him up.
Yeah.
And then you sent me that picture that Twitch wanted to see, and I noticed you have a couple photos of just clothes hanging in midair.
Yeah, I have the one with just the towel hanging in midair.
Yeah. Is that just you photoshopped a person out, or is there
Yeah, that was me.
There?
In the first picture, I just I started off with just a plain shot of the room, and then I took another shot with the camera, on a tripod, so it hasn't moved, of me wearing a towel, and then in the third shot,
nice.
I stood behind the towel and just held it up in midair.
Nice.
And then I edited out everything that wasn't me.
Huh. Photoshop's amazing.
Yeah.
You're
and
amazing.
The last shot is just a picture of the chair. It's just a towel draped over a chair. So,
as if the naked person that you can't see took the towel off, and now they're standing there naked.
Yeah, and now they're sitting on the towel. Yeah,
that's pretty brilliant.
Was there butt prints in the towel?
No, that would be that's a hard effect for me to get there. That would take some advanced photoshopping.
I'm okay with that.
You'd have to take you take a picture of the towel.
You sit in it.
And then you take a picture sitting on the towel, and then oh boy. That or you just get the towel wet, I guess, and then you sit on it, and then it leaves your butt print on there automatically. There you go. But then why?
Yeah, but it also looks like you peed on the towel.
Well, you might be going for that effect. I don't know.
Kinky.